All right, and we have made it down to the top four. And since we have decided to follow Sudrakon on his fantastic journey to the hopefully finals here after this game, we're going to do Sudrakon again. And this time going up against Raygeki, another popular name in the Brazilian Legends of Runeterra space, has been to some of the other tournaments such as BR Legends. So good to see these two facing off. And as always, everybody, if you're new to the channel, do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button if you liked the video, but without further ado, let's get into this top four gameplay between Sudrakon and Raygeki. If you guys are just joining us, we are about to get into Sudrakon versus Raygeki, and I think they actually are getting into game number one. So top four, Sudrakon versus Raygeki. Here we go. Gotta change the player name. I knew I forgot something. Damn, at least the top one's right.
We had so much downtime and you still
right?
missed it.
Uh-oh.
So it looks like we are going to get started off with Deep versus Nab.
All right.
Oh, no.
There we go, guys.
Oh, my cat's laying on my sticky notes. I don't have access to them.
Oh, sure. Blame the cat. Blame the cat.
He's next to me and he's taking a nap, and I don't want to like lift him up so that I can write down what cards were tossed. I'll just open up a sticky note on my computer. It's not quite the same, but...
Oh, man. So, yeah, we have Deep versus this Sejuani Gangplank here. Loving, again, the Ruthless Raider iteration from Sudrakon. I'm loving the more aggressive version now coming to light in recent, I guess, just in recent tournaments, last week and this week. We do see, unfortunately, he didn't have the Jagged Butcher turn one. We're going to have to go and just play this Ruthless Raider on turn two, and we'll see what Raygeki has in response here.
So we haven't really seen Hired Gun get played so far today, and I think Sudrakon might be the only Nab player that we see still playing that card. I know we had touched on one other player specifically cut it, but just not. I don't think we've seen one hit the board today.
Seen what hit the board? Sorry.
Hired Gun.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. And he's playing two or three.
Sudrakon's playing three, yeah. But I think he might be the only, is he the only Nab player still playing the card?
From what I remember today, anyways, yeah, he seems to be the only person playing Hired Gun. If we take a look at Raygeki's version, again, we see the Prowling Cutthroat in here. I think Prowling Cutthroat is like not as good as Monkey Idol in this deck. Like I think it's a bad version of Monkey Idol. I would rather have something like a Hired Gun or a Ruthless Raider in there, and I don't know. We'll see who has the advantage.
It's also wild to me that Raygeki is running Dreadway Deckhand instead of that Hired Gun when the only things that deal damage are Warning Shot, Make It Rain, and the Gangplank ability. Yeah,
that is a little bit weird. I mean, I guess you could argue that it kind of adds to the aggressiveness of the deck. Like, yeah, sure, you're going to push a little bit more damage, but yeah, I got to agree. When you don't have that many spells that do damage, what are you doing?
It looks like Sudrakon going to go for the Jagged Butcher, maybe bank that spell mana. Or do we go for the Grifter? How are you feeling, Sudrakon? Is there a failure card on top of your deck? It always sucks when you're like debating these situations and then you play the Grifter and you win.
Yeah, I gotta say, and it's not often. I mean, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's got 9 failure cards. So I mean, there's a decent chance, or he's got 1 in hand, or 2. There's 1 on the field too. So there's 7 chances that there's a failure card on the top of his deck. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's that much of a chance, but there always is. There always is. We've seen so many missed Bannermans that feel so bad. You don't want to be that guy.
And I would imagine Gangplank's going to come down here just to sort of, put your foot on the pedal, get the gasoline going here. Raygeki taking a while to think about what he wants to develop. Jaw Hunters would be absolutely heartbreaking for Sudrakon. Doesn't have a Make It Rain to sort of stop that one out.
Nope, no Jaw Hunter.
Oh, but Dead Bloom Wanderer, not a bad one either.
Yeah, but on the side of Sudrakon, at least the Dead Bloom, he'll be able to trade with some stuff. Unfortunately, though, this early Maokai from Raygeki going to get some serious value at the Sapling. Probably being able to get rid of this Ruthless Raider here, which is going to affect Sudrakon's ability a little bit to proc those Sejuani and Gangplank level ups every single turn. All right, already checking. He's already checking what's been tossed too. So he's already a step ahead of us. So I wonder.
Yeah,
I wonder. Just a side note, the spectator thing that we keep asking for. There's a lot of stuff to track in this game. So like, I wonder how they're gonna track like tossed cards and stuff like that.
I mean, I would imagine they just give us access to the sidebar.
Okay, that's right. Well, yeah, but do we have to really go through that? Like, I feel like that's still kind of a pain. You have to scroll all the way up and down to like go through all the videos. I don't know.
You just
Hey man, hey,
You'll
listen,
be lucky if you can watch the game somewhere other than Twitch TV.
Yeah, that's a good point, right? Hey man, I got hopes and dreams for this spectator mode. Okay.
So typically, we see Nab get absolutely destroyed by sea monsters. This is not a matchup where your Riptide Rex really gets a lot of value. Generally, Nautilus will eat up a lot of those shots. You don't have a great activator for it. But that was when we were running Misfortune Sejuani. You were running a little bit more early game. Now that the decks have gone a little bit more late game, you have things like Slippery Wave Rider that actually offers up a blocker onto the Abyssal Eye. You're going for more aggressive plays to level your Sejuani. And I don't care what deck you're playing. If none of your units have any attack pretty much ever, it's difficult for you to win the game. The question rather, is how long can Sudrakon hold on to multiple activators for the Sejuani while trying to get over the board of Raygeki? Luckily, Devourer can't hit Sejuani if she's leveled. She will be up to a 7/7. You will have to throw out a Vile Feast or something first before you can get that Devourer down onto her. But so far, Sudrakon doing a pretty good job of putting his pedal to the metal and getting some aggro down here.
Yeah, and, you know, so it is interesting here. This is a turn 6 with the attack token. We do see a Sejuani in hand. We do not see a Sejuani being played. And there's some argument to be made to play the Sejuani here, obviously with this big of an attack turn. There is an argument to be made to not play it because of Ruination. Ruination would be kind of a big blowout there. Or not really a huge blowout, as you are going to lose your Maokai and your Deadbloom Wanderer, but kind of a tough situation.
I'd say it's a pretty big blowout if you go for a Sejuani and get Ruination here. You're suddenly down to 4 cards. You're missing one of your major win conditions.
Yeah.
You don't have an activator for your Riptide Rex. Raygeki is a couple of cards up on you, does have, you know, the potential to go into a Nautilus next turn. Even if it's not leveled, it'll stonewall any aggro that you have. And while Raygeki would have to be worried about Sudrakon redeveloping on turn 7, looking at Sudrakon's hand, we know he really doesn't have a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be rough for Sudrakon. I mean, his board, right? You get a 2/2, a 3/3, and a 3/3, and they're not really doing much. So just these bodies that are going to get bodied by some Maokai saplings here in a second. If he's not able to get rid of this Maokai, they're just going to chip away at those units. And yeah, not to mention Dreg Dredger's now coming down, going to be another chump blocker. Also going to work nicely with the sapling. 2 + 1 = 3 last time I checked. So we'll be able to get rid of possibly one of these 3/3s. Things are just not looking incredible right now for Sudrakon.
Was Raygeki the one running? Okay, so Raygeki has 2 Grasp, 2 Grasp and 2 Wail, as well as Atrocity, just kind of keeping track of the removal options available to him, as well as those 2 Vengeances.
Yeah, he has basically the full suite, with opting to only play 1 Ruination, which I do agree. I think playing more than 1 Ruination is just not really, I think, good at all in Legends of Runeterra. Unless you're playing something like a Spooky Karma that's all in on, okay, I want to do nothing every turn of the game. So
you can make the argument that, okay, you know, you play 2 Ruination because the chances that one of them is going to get tossed is pretty high, and then all of a sudden you end up with 2 Ruination in hand and no early game to facilitate your actual game plan.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So yeah, again, I mean, we are gonna, let's see, this is gonna be turn 7, so he's not gonna be Riptide active yet. He will have Riptide active on an attack token, which is crucial. He does have, it sucks too, right? Because everything in his hand, he can only play 1 unit per turn. He actually didn't play a unit this turn, so he can get down either the Gangplank or the Wave Rider here, and then look to maybe shut down an attack turn by Raygeki with the Sejuani next turn. Raygeki, do we know how deep Raygeki is yet?
He's 3 away from deep. Oh. So as long as he's going to draw for turn, play a unit, and then Maokai's going to go deep.
That's deep. He is going deep.
So he actually doesn't play the Wave Rider, understanding that he doesn't want to throw that under the bus of a 6/6. He does want to get a little bit more value out of it, though I'm not sure how he's going to do that. Does have the chance to kill the Maokai now, though, with the Parlay. It is a little risky, though. You are relying on the barrel, and if you don't get the damage on face-off as well, then you are in a bit of a rough spot. There's only 2 Vile Feasts in the deck, though. That I have not tracked how many were tossed. I want to say I saw at least one, but I could just be completely making that up.
I think you're completely making it up, personally.
Let's
not. All right, listen. It's hard. It's hard to track everything that's in that sidebar, especially when they're scrolling through it as fast as they are. And I think actually Sudrakon is hopefully looking right now to see if any Vile Feasts were tracked. Sudrakon, scroll up. No.
Unfortunately, the sidebar is bugged with tossing. It'll only show you one card that was tossed.
Yeah.
But this is the situation I was talking about earlier, as to why Nab usually doesn't beat Sea Monsters. Look at what your Riptide Rex has to deal with. He cannot get that done.
All right, so do you like this instead of going for the parlay? I feel like you get rid of the Dredgers and still parlay here.
I mean, what is Sejuani at? 4 out of 5?
I'm not sure. It's either 4 or 5. I mean, it's getting close. But I still, regardless of how many turns, I really feel like you want to kill that Maokai. You don't kill that Maokai, you're hurting.
It looks like he wasn't willing to risk the Vile Feast. So instead he's just going to play this, I would assume, onto the Drag Dredgers. But even then, like, you could also just be wanting to... Let me check real quick. Okay, so there aren't actually any Glimpse Beyond in Raygeki's deck. That is one of the things to remember, is that, if I remember correctly, Parlay has to kill the unit if it's going to go face, so something like a Glimpse Beyond could deny that. But that's not going to be the case in a situation like this. It looks like he is... I think he's going to throw the Parlay, either at face or onto a 1 health unit. Either one, doesn't really matter to me, to level up his Gangplank and Sejuani. Then he gets that combo next turn where the Gangplank will have the Anivia ability. It's going to deal 1 damage to everything. That'll proc the Sejuani. But he doesn't have an off-turn activator for that, which means that we could just see an atrocity lethal out of Raygeki. Over the course of the next couple of turns, I think we're a little bit more likely to have this Maokai actually come down and end the game. So the Maokai's going to die next turn when you go for the attack with the Gangplank, assuming that the barrel lives.
I don't know. I mean, listen, that's 2 turns away, which means Sudrakon very much has a chance to draw something that will give him an off-turn activator for that Sejuani. If he is able to consistently get the Sejuani off, then Raygeki could be in trouble. We saw 1 Vengeance come out that was played, right? Or am I thinking of a different game?
What?
No, okay, never mind.
You're thinking of a different game.
I was thinking last game. So, all right. So there could still be a Vengeance. I'm not sure if one was tossed or not, but I mean...
There are 2 in the deck.
There's 2 Vengeance. There's 1 Ruination. Those are really the only reliable ways that Raygeki's going to be able to get rid of the Sejuani if he does decide to just keep getting the Frostbite every single turn. You do have Gangplank, which is going to proc it anyways. It's really just the off-turn activators. I mean, I don't know. This game is still close. It's really going to come down to, I think, if he can get rid of this Sejuani off the field.
Yeah, I mean, as long as the Maokai doesn't level pretty much immediately. Granted, it's not that hard for Raygeki to just play another Maokai and then, get that one towards the level of condition. I would assume this Jettison is coming out because it levels the Maokai, and that does put Sudrakon on a massive clock.
Wow.
And now the Maokai doesn't even die to the Gangplank. It does gain that regen as well as go up to a 3. That's going to be a 2/5. And you don't even get to push that much damage with your Overwhelm units because Nautilus is such a phenomenal blocker. Sure, it's not going to actually take... you're not going to take any damage. It does soak up a bit of those hits. We'll have to see how much the Riptide can get done next turn. Will it be enough? Will Raygeki have a lot of development if this Nautilus lives, where he can just push through lethal next turn? Sudrakon's got to find it soon.
Yeah, and that's, I mentioned Vengeance. I mentioned Ruination. This is one of those points in the game where Riptide just becomes the best freaking card in the game. That second Nautilus in your hand just turning into a way better Will of Ionia. And, we'll see if it actually does come down from Raygeki on the next turn on most likely the Sejuani, possibly something else, but I don't see why you wouldn't want to get rid of that Sejuani right now. It's looking like Raygeki's got this. I mean... If we go back to that turn with the Maokai, do you think that would have changed anything if Sudrakon decided to get rid of that Maokai that turn and it actually worked?
Yeah. But it also would have lost the game immediately if there was a Ruination. And I do believe we still haven't seen the Ruination tossed. So it does seem a little likely that Raygeki is actually hanging on to that one.
Yeah, and we do see the attack coming out here. We're going to get the Gangplank effect, which will trigger Sejuani's freeze. Do we have the Riptide or the Vengeance? We'll see.
I don't know how much Raygeki is respecting the Rex right now, because your Gangplank's going to fall down to, I think, 3 HP, which is only 3 Riptide hits. It's actually going to destroy your entire board, push through a bit of damage at you. And, I mean, I guess you fire off the Ruination if a Riptide comes down?
Yeah, 100%.
Or the Riptide Rex, rather. I forgot this is a matchup where I do have to differentiate between Riptide and Riptide Rex.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's a tricky one. There's no Riptide. There is no Riptide. That's crazy. Okay, so this game is still possibly could go the way of Sudrakon. This is going to be close. Obliterate coming out. Like you said, the leveled up Sejuani, very crucially at 7 health, is going to get rid of the Gangplank, though, and there's nothing that Sudrakon can do about that with the Devourer.
Does this even kill the Nautilus? It does not. It does push through a fair amount of damage thanks to loading up on these Maokai hits, but if I remember correctly, when Sudrakon was hovering over the Maokai level, it looks like he did get 2 of his warning shots tossed, so it's not like we're going to see some insane blowout where he just draws 3 warning shots in a row to kill his opponent, as well as the fact that there are Grasps and Whales in Raygeki's deck.
Yeah, there's still plenty of heals. And we haven't seen a single Grasp or Whale come out, actually, I think. Not sure.
No.
I'm not sure what got tossed. You got to imagine there's at least one of those in his hand. Maybe we see one come out now. Yep. So there's one of the Grasps. Gonna put the Riptide down to 1, which means potentially a Vile Feast or something in hand. Not sure. Not quite sure about that one yet, but I mean, Sudrakon's gonna need something to frostbite this board, I think.
I mean, he can block out here. He does still have Wave Rider, and Raygeki currently doesn't have an Abyssal Eye. Did lose that one in the last combat sequence. So, I mean, at 6 HP, it's not... losing the Gangplank sucks, because that was sort of the last 2 damage that you needed to push through.
Yeah, Gangplank, Sejuani is at the 7 health. Gangplank, not so much. It feels really bad, especially because, you have the leveled up Gangplank. You get those kegs every single turn. And that draw, I mean... All right, this draw with the Black Market Merchant...
If that takes Shipwreck Hoarder, it buys Sudrakon more turns.
Yes. Yes, actually, that's... Well, I mean, what's the chances of it actually taking... How many cards are left in Raygeki's deck?
Less than 15.
All right, so what are you... So we're looking at, what, like a 8% chance that he pulls a Shipwreck Hoarder?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty close to 0 there, bud, but,
Oh.
If there's a way back into this game, that's looking like it.
Yeah, because it looks like... All right, Sudrakon's got 2 left. Oh, there's...
Or, actually, stealing an Abyssal Eye...
Yeah.
The problem is you can't activate the Plunder this turn. You would activate the Plunder post-combat next turn, and then by then the Abyssal Eye is too late.
At this point, Sudrakon just has to, like, hope... All right, is this... All right, so Shipwreck Hoarder's in there. Right?
I mean, unless it was tossed after the Nautilus was played, then it's definitely in there.
Yeah, I think it's in there. Now there's 8 left. So now there's like a 12.5% chance that Sudrakon actually draws. Okay, he's got 2 shots. He's got 2 shots of getting the Shipwreck Hoarder.
Raygeki, though, maximized his chances of drawing another Nautilus by continuing that toss train. Yeah. So there's a very good chance that he can just line up 4 blocks and Riptide this Slippery Wave Rider.
All right, the Slippery... Okay.
Oh, but doesn't. Now we have live Black Market Merchants. Sudrakon, what can you find? What treasures are awaiting in your opponent's deck for you? That is the worst card you could have gotten there.
Literally the worst. And actually, Shipwreck, how much would it cost? Oh, wait.
Shipwreck.
The randomness continues. What do we got?
Get a Shipwreck
order. Oh, that would be amazing. I would love to see that here. Which, I think this is about the same probability as him yoinking the first one, right? How many sea monsters are there? 4? 5?
4 or 5.
Oh, no, so that's a bet. Wait, what? What? Oh, he's going to wait for this turn?
Maybe, I mean, because he has to, you would assume that Raygeki's going to attack this turn, I guess, so you want to line up your blockers. But yeah, Raygeki, you're this close to deck out.
Yes!
He found Shipwreck Hoarder!
We got it! Yes! Let's go!
Sudrakon can fight for his life in this game. Oh my gosh, this is... if Keelbreaker sucks, Keelbreaker's useless. But if you can find the treasure trove,
wow,
you could find some nonsense. Your opponent is only at 3 life. There are a number of spells in Legends of Runeterra that will kill someone from 3.
He still has a Slippery Wave Rider on the field too. Like that's if Raygeki doesn't have a Riptide and has no answer to this Wave Rider, Sudrakon can just attack. I like how see how crazy that we were worried about him yoinking it from Raygeki's deck, and it's like no. You get the Jaw Hunters, then get the Shipwreck Order. That's how this
so
goes.
many extra steps, and that stops him from decking out. So as you mentioned, he can go for the lethal with this Wave Rider, and there's the treasure trove.
Oh my god. Let's. Do you open attack or what do you?
I think you have to open attack because if you treasure trove and Raygeki responds with an Abyssal Eye and you didn't find a 3-damage spell, you're gonna be kicking yourself.
He's a check. All right. If I was Sudrakon, I was just gonna say you gotta check.
Yeah, check the Abyssal Eye count.
Okay.
I know that we've only seen one actually killed. It looks like we are gonna go for the trove. Maybe if we can find another elusive unit that is something. Raygeki. There's that pro emote. Finds the Jaw Hunters into the proper sea monster, into the proper treasure on the attack turn. And we get an elusive, but that one's not going to be big enough. But we have a transmogulator to turn something else into a Wave Rider, as well as an Insight of Ages.
Oh, wait. So the used cast salesman, he actually can't... It doesn't summon the 2 casts when there's a full field, right?
Correct.
Okay. That sucks, man. Well, okay, but if he attacks, they have to block. So he can actually play that after the fact.
It looks like we're going to transmogulate something into the Wave Rider.
This is nuts. This is probably gonna be, I think, no matter what. So Riptide and Vengeance are a thing on the side of Raygeki, but I think no matter what, Sudrakon wins. Okay, no. So he's one off with the Cask Salesman. And it's
all right, check it. Raygeki, Riptide the Wave Rider. Sudrakon, play Shadow Assassin, redraw the Wave Rider, play Wave Rider.
Wait, is he turning the 10-8 into right? Wait.
He's turning the 10-8 into the Wave Rider,
but why wouldn't you...
everything else dies to Grasp of the Undying.
Okay, that's a good point. So, let's see what he's got. This has got to be probably like a Vengeance or something. To prevent this. This is so crazy if this Transmogulator goes off.
If this is a Riptide and then Sudrakon Shadow Assassins back into the Wave Rider.
That would be hysterical. Okay, Atrocity.
Oh my gosh.
On the Wave Rider. Okay.
So as long as Sudrakon can clear up enough board space, he can actually... So if the last treasure is Keel...
Oh my god, he got Warning Shot! That's Warning Shot and Cast Salesman for the win!
He doesn't have the board space to play the Salesman yet,
but all he has to do is attack. He has to.
Yeah, because the Riptide has to get blocked and then the Riptide will die.
All he has to do, that's GG!
If Raygeki has Withering Wail... Sudrakon still has a little bit of work he needs to get done here.
No, dude, okay, alright. Withering Wail or Grasp would save him. But... We already saw one Grasp get okay, he's outside of the range of that now. Is that just game?
I mean, so if you attack, then the Dead Bloom Wanderer gets to block and you gain some life.
Oh, wait, yeah. Okay, so... Wait, what if you... is there a way around that? No. Oh, do you play... If that's 3...
If you play Shadow Assassin and you get Keelbreaker, you win.
All right, wait. Blighted? No, Blighted Caretaker doesn't do anything. God damn.
Unless if that last card is Withering Wail, I don't think there's anything Sudrakon can do. It is Plateworm Egg, so the Keelbreaker is now off the table. Oh, can you clear... It's so hard. I don't think you can clear the board space to actually play the Cask Salesman since the Dead Bloom Wanderer is what came out of your opponent.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Wait. I think this does it. Because the Cast Salesman will summon... no, wait.
0.
It's going to summon 0. This is so... Oh, my God.
Okay, but you can play Riptide Rex. And if Riptide Rex deals 1 damage, then you win the game with the
shot. And that's a high probability. That's a high probability.
That's very likely to happen.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. We're all hype. We're all hype on all these other cards going on in his hand, while Riptide's just chilling there all the way to the left. Like, hey, call me when you need me.
It, right?
He got it.
Wait, did that deal 0 damage?
Yeah, he got it.
Did he? Okay, I wasn't sure. I saw so many lined up onto the night. It's so hard to tell with all those.
He should have played the Warning Shot afterwards too to show him. Come on, you gotta.
Yeah, I had this.
Yeah. By the way, I had Cat. I would have loved to have seen the Cast Salesman go off though. That was wow. Whew. Oh my God. That was absolutely bonkers what just happened there at the end of that game for Sudrakon to take that away.
Well,
Wow.
that was something.
Oh my god. Yeah, and yeah, it's so funny though cuz our our perspective was so drawn to the treasure trove and all the cards, all these weird wonky cards, and the entire time we're forgetting he has a Riptide. Like that was the win that the whole entire time the Riptide was the win condition.
Look, man, there was a lot of gravy in that train. I got a little lost in the sauce slurping it up, so that just is what it is.
Like I think that no matter what, Rex would have been like a sure kill there at three life, 5 units he had. No, that's only 2 damage. Well, after the warning shot, after he picked up the warning shot, Rex was always definitely going to be lethal as long as he had an elusive on board.
I don't think so, because, Maokai's at 5 HP. Nautilus can also absorb 3 shots.
Maokai was at 5.
I mean, he's got regen, so I would assume.
I don't know why I thought Maokai was damaged for some reason that turn.
I don't know how Maokai would have gotten
No,
damaged.
I don't think he was. No, I don't think he was.
Yeah, I think that like there was potential for the Riptide to miss, but not a lot.
Wow,
it was very low.
That was. Whew, oh man, that was a good game. That was what I like to see. That was some spicy stuff right there. Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, I told you, Deep's the best deck. Shipwreck Order, insane
Yeah.
card.
See, that's why you don't play cards, guys, because they get yoinked, and then your opponent.
It wasn't even the Shipwreck Order. It was the Jaw Hunters. It betrayed him.
That's crazy. Jaw Hunters into the Shipwreck Order. Giving him.
All right, this doesn't look like a bad hand from Sudrakon. Gets sort of an aggressive. Oh
Wow.
my god, and he gets a Zonite Urchin. So going to be starting off with about 8 damage coming at Raygeki if that's the line that Sudrakon wants to go for.
Yeah, if Raygeki has no way, I mean, we probably are going to see a Thorny Toad, hopefully, from Raygeki. Otherwise, he is going to be hurting. Yeah.
And it looks like Sudrakon's going to respect the Toad and
Yeah.
actually discard the Flame Chompers instead.
I like that, especially because the Flame Chompers, you actually get to keep the Flame Chompers with the Toad because it's only a 1-attack unit. So I like that. Yep,
Yeah.
There it is.
Vile Feast would have sucked a little bit as well, kill one of the urchins. It will still push. It does still get pulled away by the Flame Chompers. Yeah, Vision would have gotten hard blown out by Vile Feast there, actually.
Yeah, and wow, this is a really good start on the side of Sudrakon. That's pretty awesome to see this Vision in hand too. I don't think he has no way of actually discarding the Vision. He could. This looks like a great turn 4 Jinx, turn 6 Augmented Experimenter if he's able to get to that point. And if there's ever a game where we see Thorny Toad stay on the field forever, this is the game. So we'll see if it actually dies.
I'm assuming it's gonna die. I think it's more so specifically Deep Mirrors where we see this card hang on for a long time because nobody's really attacking. It is good against the aggro decks, and while there aren't a lot of them, Raygeki has found that matchup here against Sudrakon's discard aggro.
So, do you Mystic Shot this trying to go for what I just mentioned with the turn 4 Jinx, turn 6 Augmented because you're going to be discarding your hand, or?
There's not much of a better Mystic Shot target outside of Deadbloom Wanderer. There's so much healing in Raygeki's deck that I don't think you're ever getting a chance to send this Mystic Shot face. I'm pretty sure you're going to empty your hand long before that happens. But maybe you do just want to save it for the Deadbloom Wanderer.
So now the problem right now is that... Oh, this is terrible for Sudrakon going into turn 4, though. Because Raygeki is saving 1 spell mana, and Sudrakon's entire field is 1 health.
Yeah, that's all going to die to a Withering Wail.
That is a juicy Withering Wail if I have ever seen one. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna...
If there is a Withering Wail, though, I don't necessarily like Raygeki attacking with the Jaw Hunters. I mean, there's nothing that Sudrakon can do to play around it. I mean, he could throw down a... I guess he could throw down a crowd favorite to start off the turn, and that would be about as big as a punish as you could possibly get. But at that point, I feel like I would still want my Jaw Hunters to be around so that I have something to push damage back onto it. I'm fine attacking the Flame Chompers, as long as my Jaw Hunters isn't actually dying to anything, because I do think a Whale next turn is pretty likely the way that Raygeki's played this one thus far.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, that Jaw Hunters, generally speaking, you're not going to play the Jaw Hunters if you know you have the Whale, but... He could also be trying to bluff that he doesn't have a Whale to Sudrakon. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do there to try to get your opponent to think one way or the other. We do see the Mystic Shot coming out on the Jaw Hunters. So, yeah. Yep, juicy Withering Wail indeed. I guess we're going to see if he has it. And you got to know Sudrakon's thinking the same exact thing. So, I guess you go for the open attack here, right? Yep.
I mean, I feel like I'm okay putting a Jinx down if Whale is what I'm expecting.
Oh, and then you do we just get excited face vision? Like, is that a thing? Especially with Jinx and Augmented in hand?
I mean, are you trying to lose a game? But probably.
It
looks like he's hard considering
dude,
it.
That is a lot of damage. Like, I think you just lose to Withering Whale here anyways?
I mean, we often find discard aggro in positions where they get their board completely annihilated, and then the Jinx Experimenter does let them refill. It looks like Sudrakon has decided, you know what, I'm going to empty my hand anyway. We might as well say, if you don't have the Whale, I'm going to take the win,
Wow,
and if you
no
do,
whale.
I'm still in the same position where I have this Jinx available to me.
Wow.
Sudrakon playing greedy, and it works out for him.
Yeah, and I like that a lot from Sudrakon, right? Like, that's, especially with burn aggro, you have one strategy and one strategy only, or a discard.
The vision's never gonna get value. Even if your board does get whaled there and you hang on to the vision, big whoop.
Yeah.
What is that gonna do? Give you an extra attack on your Jinx 2 turns from now?
Yeah, so I like that. Just, hey, you either got it or you don't, and one way or the other, I'm gonna be drawing cards with Jinx and Augmented. So love the play, love to see it. Jinx comes down on 5, Augmented on 6. This is looking to be a pretty quick win on the side of Sudrakon.
I mean, he does still have to end the game.
Well, you know, I know that's a thing. There is the.
He does it. He's a couple turns off of doing that. It's gonna, unless he draws something like a Rummage or something that can discard this Experimenter on turn 5 to level the Jinx. House Spider not gonna get it done. So we are still a little ways off of him actually getting some stuff out. But now the Dead Bloom Wanderer coming out before Sudrakon can find the burn does mean Raygeki's going to get to inch his life total a little bit higher.
A little bit, yeah. The vision, though, giving the permanent attack boost to all of these units means that Dead Bloom will trade.
Excuse you.
The
permanent
granted the permanent attack boost here to all these tokens on Sudrakon's side of the field. So the Dead Bloom will only get one strike off unless we do see 2 miscall. And this is exactly what we have talked about multiple times as to why miscall is good, possibly being able to get more.
You're definitely attacking with the sapling.
Yeah.
You want to take that 50-50 on a missed call?
Well, I don't know. Are you definitely attacking with sapling? Because what's more important, healing or removing the units on the field?
I mean, if I'm removing a unit that has 3 attack, that's essentially gaining 3 HP, right?
Yeah. So do you just, I mean, maybe you're forced to take the 50-50 on the side of Raygeki then?
Maybe. I mean, I am going to, as long as I gain this life from the Dead Bloom this turn, then I can block something that's going to kill my Thorny Toad next turn and gain another 2 HP.
Yep. Yeah, and
because like now that I'm up to 5, if you go for an attack with the Jury Rig first, like I could block that with, I don't know, Maokai, I guess.
No
or I could just take the 2-1, block the 3-1 with Maokai, block your Jinx with my Thorny Toad, and we're actually going to see the Experimenter blast that one to Kingdom Come.
Are we doing it on the Toad? Because do you do it on the Toad? You do it on the Maokai because then the Super Mega Death Rocket kills the Maokai, right?
Yeah, but you're not getting that for another 2 turns.
Oh, that's right. You don't get it the same turn.
You're also going to have to empty out 5 cards to get the Super Mega Death Rocket. Could be a little difficult. The open attack, not great. I mean, like we said, the Maokai gets to block something. The Thorny Toad gets to block the Jinx. You do get to kill the Maokai with the Experimenter then.
The problem too with this Jinx is, okay, actually he's not deep yet, and the Jinx is actually fine regardless with this Devourer. I think he has to go with this. Because if the Devourer comes down on 6, he needs to be able to save this Jinx. And with the Jinx at 4 health, he's outside of the Devourer range. So I do like this instead of going with the open attack. And he very much needs this Jinx to close out this game. He can't lose this Jinx.
Oh, always.
Yeah, so.
What are we going to find inside? What's the special surprise in the box? Does still have 3 mana to play with. Or spell mana, at least, you know. Looking for some burn.
I still would have liked to see this on the Maokai, personally. It just feels so much better. I don't know. I guess we'll see if it ends up making a difference here.
The awkward part is because you're not going for an open attack, Raygeki is going to get to develop a unit, and then, you know, the Maokai still gets the sapling, the fact that and then Maokai doesn't even have to block. Sure, you do get to kill it with the Super Mega Death Rocket the next turn, but I think Sudrakon is kind of at a point where the Super Mega Death Rocket is supposed to be killing Raygeki. The Maokai is kind of secondary at that point.
Okay, so these are not bad draws for Sudrakon. These are
let's get the Zonite Urchin to continue to cycle through the deck, get him a card down if he can get to the Super Mega Death Rocket. Mystic Shot, great. Going to be able to take care of that Dead Bloom Wanderer.
Yeah, he'll be able to get rid of... He'll definitely be able to discard his entire hand next turn, which means a definite Super Mega Death Rocket.
Well, he's going to draw 2 more cards, so it's questionable. If he draws another Augmented Experimenter, things get a little... Well, I guess he could just play the Experimenter, discard his whole hand, and get the Rocket, but...
Well, you can play the Zonite to discard the Experimenter, right?
Well, you have to discard the Crowd Favorite.
You can play the Crowd
Favorite. You're going into 7 mana, yeah.
You can play the Crowd Favorite.
This 1 mana Rocket's going to come up big here, I think.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, yes. And...
Yeah, this is like an awkward attack for Sudrakon. You want to go in with a little bit more. If you only go in with the 1 attacker, you're just getting blocked by the Sapling.
I mean...
The question is, like, are you going to Mystic Shot this Dead Bloom? If you are, then you probably want to do it now,
Yeah.
but it looks like Sudrakon is respecting Mist's Call, and that's why we're going for the attack first, diluting the pool, making it a little bit less enticing for Raygeki to go for that one.
Yep, and gonna go ahead and block it with the Sapling. Makes sense. And yeah, I mean, Raygeki at this point needs the missed call, man. I mean, it's just he needs more life gain. And I don't know if he's actually gonna make it to that point though. I mean, he has to attack with this Dead Bloom next turn.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're Mystic Shotting the Dead Bloom this turn since we killed the Sapling. It takes them. Oh,
Oh,
no,
all
okay.
right.
Just gonna pass that one over.
Wow. Okay. He's got burn. Wait, so that's lethal with the Super Mega Death Rocket. The problem is getting rid of the Dead Bloom.
Wanderer, yeah. Because like you can block the Dead Bloom with your 2/1 and Mystic Shot your 2/1, and that technically represents more damage than the Mystic Shot on face would.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Or you could just Mystic Shot the Dead Bloom. That's also an option. Why didn't you correct me on that one? So
you
Mystic Shot
the Dead Bloom. Yeah.
You Mystic Shot the face. You probably don't clean it up this turn. Raygeki's not deep yet, so you don't have to worry about Devour onto your Jinx. But if you lose this Jinx, and you do have a lot of opportunities to lose this Jinx before you actually get to empty your hand, then that, I believe, is just going to be game over for Raygeki.
Yeah, this is going to be... I mean, this is definitely a weird spot for Sudrakon to navigate, though. I definitely like seeing the 4 mana spent, but this is going to send Raygeki deep, which means...
If Devourer comes down, you have to double Mystic Shot the Devourer, right?
Yeah.
Like, you cannot lose this Jinx right now.
100%. That's exactly what you have to do. So I think that you actually can't play the Mystic Shots yet. I think you do have to play something like probably the Zonite, discard the Astute Academic.
You need to play Zonite last, right?
Why?
No, I guess you can play the Coward Favorite. I was thinking of developing the Academic here, but you're right. I mean, you could just play Coward Favorite now.
Yeah, I don't think you play the Mystic. I think you go Zonite, then you pass priority back over, see if they play Devour. They probably just pass back over again. Then play Crowd Favorite, and then go from there. I don't think you need the Astute Academic.
You could just pass the turn, draw your 2 cards, draw 2 more Mystic Shots, send 4 Mystic Shot at the face.
I don't mind going with the Crowd Favorite first. Possibly, so this kind of forces Raygeki, if he has Devourer, to, okay, you need to play it now. As opposed to the Zonite, you're more likely just going to have Raygeki just pass priority back over to you. So I do kind of like this. We'll see. We'll see if this gets the Devourer out.
My concern with the Zonite onto the Academic is what if you draw a card that you can't play? Like you draw another Crowd Favorite or you draw another Augmented Experimenter.
Yeah, because actually, you literally need another 1-cost card, right?
You need Zonite Urchin to be the last thing that you play this turn.
I think you're right.
So that you still have mana for the Rocket.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, does get it out.
There it is, but there's the 2 Mystic Shot going to happen onto the Devourer to save this Jinx here. Absolutely needs to have that happen. So super well played by Sudrakon, getting the Devourer out, going to be able to get the Zonite down, and this is one of the few times we get to see, I think this happened one other time, where the mana change to Super Mega Death Rocket is going to matter, and it's right now.
Unfortunately, not going to get it off pre-combat, though.
Yeah, it kind of feels bad.
Yeah, I mean, you're still dealing 4 damage to the face, and unless this Crowd Favorite goes down, that also represents a fair amount of damage coming back onto Raygeki the next turn, unless he can find an answer for that one. The Dead Bloom Wanderer is going to die here. Pretty much everything's going to die here for Raygeki, or at least everything that comes in for an attack.
Yeah, which is going to leave plenty of good attacks for the Jinx, for the Crowd Favorite. And I think Raygeki is actually going to opt to keep this Devourer back here, probably to block, something like the Jinx or the crowd favorite. Obviously, you have the Maokai here too. And really quietly, this Maokai I think is close to leveling as well.
21 out of 25. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I don't really know if that's going to impact. I mean, because this game...
It does, because Jinx is on a 2-turn clock when Maokai,
yeah,
as opposed to a turn 4 clock.
Yeah, that is a good point. Although there is no Jettison that can be played. Raygeki is tapped out of mana, so we know it won't happen immediately. It could happen next turn.
Well, if Raygeki swings out and 4 of his units die, if everything but the Maokai dies, then the Maokai levels.
Yeah.
But then you probably die to the open attack. I don't think you can go for something like that, and I think that's why we see him. I'm a little surprised to see the Dead Bloom held back.
Yeah, I am too. That is really surprising. Because now you're well, okay. He did see 2 Mystic shots come out, so he knows it's not going to be burn damage. Like it's less likely to be burn damage unless it's a Super Mega Death Rocket, which he dies to anyways, I think. So maybe that's kind of what he's thinking in his head.
But if you wouldn't die to the Super Mega Death Rocket if you attacked with the Dead Bloom, you'd be at 7 right now.
Well, on top of the overwhelming stuff. I'm not saying just the Super Mega. Like if another one goes to Sudrakon's hand, he would have died anyways, even with the 3 heal. Which I think is what he's thinking. Because even if this Maokai blocks, that's 2 damage, which will put him at 5, and he's definitely... I don't know, because then you got to think, okay, what's in Raygeki's hand? There's got to be something, either a Vile Feast, a Grasp, or a Withering. There has to be one of those in his hand.
I mean, there doesn't have to, but yeah, it does seem pretty likely. Sudrakon gonna get down this Flame Chompers first. Has another big crowd favorite coming down.
Yeah.
Doesn't even necessarily need the Jinx and the Super Mega Death Rocket to finish this one out. If we do see Raygeki find a way to kill this one, but he's out of spell mana. 8 mana is not a lot to try and deal with a board like this when you are this low on life, trying to let your opponent not run out of cards in hand, knowing that there's nothing that you can do about it.
You could. If you open Vengeance on the Jinx, then 3 damage. I think you just lose, actually, if you do that. So, yep, there's
the Maokai level. We're on a 2-turn clock now, Sudrakon.
Yeah. Well, yep. Okay, so, yep, he'll draw 2 and then 2. So he does get 1 more attack turn, though, which is crucial. So I think that we would have never made it to a 3rd attack turn anyways. So I don't think that is actually mattering like we thought it might. But
the concern that I have for Sudrakon is that if one of your last cards is Rummage, suddenly you can't get more rockets.
Yeah. Ooh, that feels bad.
Or like an Experimenter.
Don't put that out there. Don't put that. You in the negative energy today, putting that sort of stuff out there. Not cool, man.
I'm letting everybody know of the possibilities.
Yeah,
But honestly, things are looking pretty good for Sudrakon with the double crowd favorite.
Yeah, what did he overwrite for the fan?
I don't think he overwrote anything for the fan. I think he has to overwrite for the crowd favorite.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, so we're going to go ahead. We'll see the fan. We'll see the crowd favorite. Pretty beefed up here. I think it's a 7-6 when it's played with max units on the board. And I, at this point, don't think... let's see. One crowd favorite... one crowd favorite does 3. The other does 1. That's 4. Plus the Mega Death Rocket is 4. I don't think there's any way Raygeki gets out of this, even with a Grasp or Well. I think it's impossible.
Yeah, he doesn't have Vengeance mana. Yep. He doesn't main deck Riptide.
I think
there's no cheeky atrocity kill coming out for Raygeki this time around.
Yeah, no, that's just it. That's just it. There's absolutely nothing Raygeki could possibly have. Grasp doesn't do it. Oh, wait. So the Dead Bloom is going to heal, though. Oh, he just pulls it. He just pulls it with the...
I mean, you can just play the Rocket pre-combat, too, and kill the Dead Bloom.
Yeah, or he pulls it with the Flame Choppers. So, yeah, that's just game. That's just game. Wow. I think he's checking. He's checking all the cards. He's saying, all right, what's Raygeki got? Should I attack? Should I not attack? And Sudrakon, let me tell you, this is an attack turn. You play the Rocket first, obviously, but then you attack. Wow. So, yeah, discard aggro. Looking like it's pulling through yet again with this strategy. Pretty crazy because, like, aggro, like we continue to say, just completely off the map as of late, whether it's discard, burn, or whatever. Just not really seeing a lot of play, and bam, we're seeing Super Mega Death Rockets back and forth every single time this deck hits the board for wins.
Yeah, I mean, discard aggro's been making a little bit of a comeback lately. I know that some players have been talking about it on ladder. It made it to the finals of the Mind Masters Japanese tournament last weekend or 2 weeks ago. I think it was last weekend. Yeah, it looks like players are starting to kind of bring this one back a little bit. I'm like, is this a better PZ Noxus deck than something like Ezreal Swain? Obviously, it's a completely different strategy, but we're not really. There's definitely not enough aggro for you to run something like a 3 aggro lineup and try to pick on one of the slower decks of your opponent. That's not really the kind of game plan that we're going for. And Sudrakon was saying it beats Frostbite midrange, but this being a unified tournament, there was almost no Frostbite midrange to be found this time around. But Sudrakon doesn't let it stop him, and it looks like he's going to be moving up 2-0 here in the top 4.
Yeah, awesome to see it. Going 2-0 against Raygeki. Awesome to see this discard aggro doing its job here. And, we questioned it at first. The first game that we saw, it was a little questionable. It was like, did he really, he just top decked a lot of good stuff. He drew a lot. It is what it is. Second game he won again. He won another game with that discard aggro. Starting to get on our good side a little bit with that deck. And now, in the semifinals here versus Raygeki, I don't know. He's starting to convince me now. He's starting to sell me on this discard aggro deck now. Now, do we think this discard aggro deck is actually seeing more play because of deep? Because obviously discard aggro has a decent matchup against deep decks in general. We have been seeing deep come out more.
I think it was the Frostbite midrange specifically. I don't know if I'm willing to say it has a good deep matchup. Because that was looking a little sketchy for Sudrakon there for a little bit.
Well, it was, but it has a good matchup if it's able to do its job before the deep deck goes deep, similar to any burn deck, right? I mean that's why deep needs as many region tools as it has in Grasp, in Withering, in Vile Feast, because it needs to survive. And we even saw 2 Dead Blooms hit the field, and it still wasn't enough life gain to fend off Sudrakon. And on top of, 2 Grasps and a Vial that we saw as well?
It sounds about right.
So really the only issue was Raygeki actually was teching Withering Whale for this exact sort of matchup, and he just didn't draw.
And just didn't find it, yeah.
Wow.
Would have been crazy if there was a whale on that first big attack turn.
Oh, that whole game, that would have been the game wouldn't have been over, but it would have been drastically changed to be in favor of Raygeki.
But now it's going to be indoor versus Sea Monsters. How are we feeling about this one, Shit? The 2 Shadow Isle Titans of the format coming to clash together one last time.
All right. They Who Endure in deep. I gotta go with the They Who Endure here. I just think that it's more reliable that the They Who Endure will hit its game-winning strategy by turn, 8 or 9. Whereas deep probably needs to make it to turn 10 to really win the game. It'll go deep by 7 and then hopefully set up some sort of strong board by turn 9 or 10 or so to actually overtake this They Who Endure deck. But yeah, I gotta go with They Who Endure.
So something that I like about the indoor deck, and specifically this build that Sudrakon has brought, is that while we usually praise the good early game, the good wall potential of the early game of deep, the Dreg Dredgers, the Thorny Toad, the Vile Feast Spiderlings, those don't do that well into fearsome units, and Sudrakon is running the Shadow Isle Allegiance version of Indoor Spiders here, so he is going to have a lot of fearsome available to him to go over the top of those units. Thorny Toad's going to be living forever in this matchup.
And that freaking card, man. And yeah, I got to agree, because that's the other thing we've said a lot of times about They Who Endure, right? It's not, sure, it's Atrocity, it's They Who Endure. That's the strategy. You get it off, you win the game, usually, if you play it right. And the early game, especially with the way that Sudrakon's playing it with these fearsome, They Who Endure decks have an alternate win condition of, I'm just going to be way more aggressive than you are, really fast, and just end up killing you probably with a random Neverglade Collector on turn 5 because you're at 3 health. So that might very well be the case here against Raygeki, already seeing an incredible start as far as this board is concerned. Will the Withering Whale finally come to the rescue of Raygeki here?
I feel like it would have been a snap whale.
Especially after not getting it that first game, right?
You don't want to... This is one of the times where you don't actually want to whale in combat, because then Sudrakon will have already pulled your Dead Bloom Wanderer to the side. Mm-hmm. So you do want to whale now so that you can actually block one of these other units, and Raygeki looks like he doesn't have it.
Jesus, that card. Where is that card? We need this
card. At the bottom of the deck. We'll see it tossed soon.
Yeah, right. And... is this it? Vile Feast. We're doing well. Anybody? We're doing well. Just Vile Feast. Yep. Gonna go ahead, save that Dead Bloom for now. But on the other hand, still going down to a whopping 9 health. That feels bad.
Yeah, that one doesn't tickle.
No, that hurts. And yeah, like we're gonna see too. Like I mentioned, we're going into turn 5. He has 3 spell mana banked, unless he plays this Glimpse. Okay, he's gonna go ahead and Glimpse. But we're going into turn 5. He has a Neverglade with a Ravenous Butcher, and his opponent is already at 9. Not to mention the Cursed Keeper. So, and the Atrocities. So that, like, he already has the tools to just kill Raygeki by like turn 6.
Yeah, and it's, that's not something you can kill with the Devourer of the Depths before you go deep. And even if you could, we're still 2 turns off of you finding something like that.
Yep.
The Neverglade Collector, that is.
Yeah, yep, gotcha. Yeah, with the 5 health. And Grasp coming out. Wow. So, okay, this is going to keep Raygeki decently healthy. This does hurt Sudrakon a little bit, not giving him that additional draw that probably, to be honest with you, would have sealed the deal as far as the game is concerned. The attack token is going over to Raygeki, so I fully expect to see the Neverglade Collector play this turn. Although, we could see the Cursed Keeper come out first, and then possibly the Neverglade Collector next turn, followed by the Ravenous Butcher. Yep, he does decide to go with the Neverglade Collector.
Ooh, and now we see the Jaw Hunters. That can kill this Neverglade Collector. There's so many times where players fall for the open pass from the deep deck. They develop their pivotal unit, and the Jaw Hunters comes down. But, I mean, at the same time, what are you going to do? Not play a Neverglade Collector? Come on now, let's be realistic. This is just one of the punishes that the Sea Monster deck has available to it. And, like, it's really a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Sure, you could make an argument, you should wait until it's not your attack turn in order to play this, but I don't know. Well, I feel like that's something that you have to play into every time.
Oh, yeah, he definitely, with the 2 Ravenous Butchers, I think he would have sealed the deal, too. But I actually, it's not even that bad for Sudrakon, right? Like, he still is going to have a super wide field. His opponent's on 8 mana, no Ruination. He's going to have Cursed Keeper activated with Ravenous Butcher. There is still going to be a lot of damage. Raygeki pretty much needs a Devourer to make sure he just deals with some of this damage that's going to come through here.
But if Sudrakon plays a Cursed Keeper, you don't Devour the Cursed Keeper, do you? I'm pretty sure you hit one of the either the Bark Beast or I would assume a Mist Caller.
Ooh, that's tough. I mean,
or Mist Wraith rather.
I don't know. I would argue that I think you might, because I mean, you know how this deck plays. You're just gonna feel stupid if you go, nah, they're not gonna have an activator for Cursed Keeper, and then they do. It's like, what the hell? So, wow, okay.
Oh, instead we're going to see Abyssal Eye.
So this could be a pretty big attack turn here. We're going to see possibly both Ravenous Butchers. Do we see Cursed Keeper, Ravenous on a Cursed Keeper, and then another Ravenous on this Blighted Caretaker? It looks like he's considering it.
Yeah, he's even opening with the Butcher onto onto this Blighted Caretaker, taking sort of the Vile Feast off the table for Raygeki. Yep. Just getting that 1 health unit out of here says, the Butcher looks a lot better on my board when I go for this Cursed Keeper.
And, yeah, this is a big board.
This is one of the things that the Endor deck really has going for it with a lot of the recent iterations, is sometimes all you need is Atrocity. Endor can come, and that's cool, but it's actually not... Like, there is a lot of potential for you to just put your opponent down to a range where you can finish them off with the Atrocity. You don't need something massive like the Endor. I don't think we're going to get to see Raygeki go deep here to pump up this Abyssal Eye. I think it is just going to go ahead and die here.
Yeah, and this is going to put...
Okay, that's a lethal attack. Yeah, can't block that one.
Yeah, he's going to go down to 2, I think. Or oh, wait.
No, I guess we are actually going to see him go up.
Well, does this...
Oh my... Okay, there were all the sea monsters.
Oh, wait, no, that's... Okay, double Jettison to go deep here. Wow. And that's going to be 1, 6... That does put it... Wait, 3 Jettison to go deep. Jesus.
So that was... Every sea monster in the deck except for that Abyssal Eye was tossed right there.
Wow.
All 3 Devourers, 2 other Abyssal Eye, the Shipwreck Hoarder, all of them are gone until Nautilus comes down.
Yeah, he needs this Nautilus now. And I think, so, am I right? Does he go down to 2? 3, 6, 9, 12? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it looks about right. He goes to 1, actually.
1. So, now Raygeki at 7 mana needs to play around Atrocity. And literally, we might see a 3 or 4 attack Atrocity, which is pretty nuts. He's gonna go for the draw first. Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, Raygeki's on his back foot, man. This is gonna be tough to navigate for him to get back in this.
I don't think Raygeki can do it. I don't think he can fall below 5 mana for the rest of the game, and I'm pretty sure you just die to the open attack if you don't fall below 5 mana here developing something.
Yeah, I think, yeah, you just pass. And Raygeki is probably, yep, here's the Thorny Toad. Wait, oh, don't do
risky.
it. Don't
unless,
do it.
Unless Sudrakon has tracked it properly and something like both grass were tossed away.
He's double checking. I think
I know one was tossed.
he must know. He must know, and then that's why he just double checked and he knows there's no second grasp in there. Yeah, so Sumo, boom, you just nailed it. I did notice Sudrakon very often is looking down, writing things down. That, honestly, so a lot of times in just various Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, that helped a lot. I used to do that when I competed in Shonen Jumps, and just tracking what your opponent has, what they don't have, what's in their graveyard, definitely helps a ton, and we see it help there, knowing that even Withering Wail is not going to help Raygeki and Sudrakon going to the finals, baby.
I think the sentence I heard the most in 2011 was, I would play Trap Dust Shoot even if I didn't get to put a card back.
I remember that. Dude, isn't that on the ban list now?
I don't think it is anymore,
No.
but it was for a while.
Oh my god, Trap Dust
Just
Shoot.
being able to look at your opponent's hand was just so powerful,
Yeah.
especially the fact that I get to put a card back.
Oh yeah, that made it busted. That was insane. All right, and there you have it. Sudrakon is going to go ahead and take away this top 4 match and advance to the finals. So now the more important question is, who is he going to be playing against? Well, we're going to see that in the next video. So make sure you turn on that bell, get notified when that video goes live. We are going to have the finals coming right at you. So as always, everybody, stay healthy, stay positive. I hope shit just works for you. Peace out. All right, so the first ever Rune Cup Brazil Finals. And God, I'm excited. Again, this tournament was absolutely insane. Thank you to everybody who put it together. I know Yang Zera had a large part in it as well. And all the players, obviously, thank you. Without you guys, we would not be here being able to cast you. 115 of them in total. So good to have such a large Brazilian tournament, the largest ever to date. So had an awesome time casting with Boulevard. Right now, we're going to do Sudrakon versus Naivie. I'm going to go, I think Navier was the generally accepted way to pronounce this name. So if anybody knows, definitely comment in the comments below. Let me know. But Sudrakon versus Navier of the finals in this Rune Cup, first ever Rune Cup Brazil. Let's get it. All right, and Navier, we followed Sudrakon all the way through his top cut journey. And unfortunately, Navier taking him down feels really bad. But congratulations to Navier, obviously, being able to take down a pretty big, pretty well-known player in Sudrakon to take home this first ever Rune Cup Brazil. So hope you guys enjoyed all of this top cut footage. I will be bringing lots more stuff to you guys, including the PCS trophy that will be happening this weekend, as well as another Duels of Runeterra. As always, I got you back. So as always, everybody, stay healthy, stay positive. I hope it just works for you. Peace out.